Who says you can't? You do. Daniel Gideon. Chapter 2. Uncomfortable in the comfort zone. Somewhere in the archives of crudest instinct is recorded the truth that it is better to be undanger and free than captive and comfortable. Tom Robbins. Are you really comfortable where you are in life? Or are you just settling because you don't believe you can get anything better? Most people I have met try to display that they are comfortable. Yet once they really open up, it seems there are many things that they wish they could achieve or attain. It's then evident that they are quite uncomfortable. Every time someone asked me how I was, I would reply with the words not bad or okay. It was not until I had the feeling of being great that I realized that a not bad life just is not good enough. Life is made up of decisions we make, and accepting a not bad or even okay life is the case for most. People rarely admit when they are not good doing too well and believe that they can take cover behind lying to others and themselves. There is one fact you have to acknowledge. You can't run and hide from yourself because everywhere you go, there you are. The harsh reality is that most people are not truly happy with where they are in life. They submit to beliefs that have made them a life that never fulfills them. It's quite upsetting because I know that exact feeling and I also know how it feels to be on the other side. This is one of the main reasons for dedicating my life to setting this to setting this message. The first thing I would say is that facing it rather than running is the first step towards change. The questions which I asked in the last chapter are a great start. They all lead us to a point of acknowledgement. We seem to be blind to the powerful part of the word acknowledgement. We can have all the knowledge in the world, have 10 university degree, have traveled to globe, or know how to speak 5 different languages. But if we don't have true knowledge of ourselves, we will never create the life we want. Coming to realizations about where you are in life due to past events, decisions you are making now and how it can affect what you create next is the greatest knowledge you can obtain. It allows you to truly come to the understanding that your life has always been controlled by you. Taking accountability for the state you find yourselves in will allow you to make the changes needed to drive your life to a new level. What's wrong? Does making mistakes along the way mean you are back to where you started? Really? It's a question mark. The intelligent answer is no. But many people fall into the trap of giving up when they have made a mistake. So why do so many people become disheartened on their journey to create an extraordinary life? They really look at the progress they have made but will always notice what's wrong. As you progress through your self-discovery, you will realize that rather than only seeing some beliefs and decisions as wrong, they actually promote massive progress. Your beliefs advance from one another and assist one another in growing. They all have purpose. No matter how badly you think you screwed something up, you can't change it. But you can learn from it, and if you are judging yourself for doing something wrong, then logically you are acknowledging that you can do it differently next time. You are learning to reason with yourself and becoming more self-aware. The more you ignore and disregard your ability to reason with yourself, the more energy you are putting toward a life you don't want to live. It's up to you to learn along the journey, and that's what we are all on. A journey of self growth. No one is going to just come along and drop fulfillment into your lap. If that were the case, the great life would be a lot easier to achieve. Setbacks are still a step forward on your journey. If you look hard enough, they have an important role to play. In order for you to see your actions as negative, you must be able to identify the flip side. You can take action to get back on the right path and don't have to submit to the belief that it's just the way it is. This awareness will allow you to put a strategy in place to eliminate negative thoughts that are continually having a detrimental effect in your life. Another way of looking at negativity is that it reminds you that you are making progress. Most people surrender to negative perceptions subconsciously, but by being consciously aware that a thought is negative, you are becoming more emotionally intelligent. You are using your mind to distinguish and correct rather than just accept. Instead of beating yourself up over thinking or acting negatively, view these experiences as a chance to learn and implement change. The logic in unlogic. You have heard it all before. The logical and illogical sides of the brain. Becoming aware of and able to compare the two is your greatest asset to strengthen your success. You should use the logical side of your brain as your defense mechanism against the decisions that are leading you toward feeling that don't really fulfill you. It will prevent you from being in situations where you question the same thing 100 times over. Even though you are already aware of the answer that is beneficial, you will recognize in time that it will be hard not to make a decision without assessing it and finding answers that spur growth. Choosing your two sides of logic will become quite natural. I once found myself in a situation where I was helping out someone who was having a reaction to drugs that caused him to believe he had no control over himself. I went over to his apartment to talk through his feelings with him and try to calm him down the best way I knew how. He was still at the height of the drug's effect, so I knew I had to take massive action. I asked him if he needed some fresh air. He told me that he would probably do something very stupid and jump off the balcony. Knowing that this battle of control was going on in his mind, I took a new approach. I began to explain that he just proved to me that he was much better and was making progress, being confused and rushing at the same time. He was convinced he was still at his worst. I said that if he had no control over himself, then he would not have told me he would jump off the balcony. He would have just done it. That by being aware that he might do something stupid, he logically understood he had a choice and was therefore far more in control than he believed. It worked wonders, and within minutes he started to snap out of it. By being able to compare the logical side with the illogical, he had control over the way he felt and decisions he was going to make. He thanked me later and said that he had felt he had no control over what was happening, and just by becoming aware that he did, he started to fight that belief. His control became evident to him. I would like to talk about how this could be relevant to everyday life. If you have not already realized it, we make ourselves believe we have no control over the way we feel or what decisions we make. Quick to throw the blame on someone or something else. We will blame it all on people around us, certain situations, or even drugs. Are they really the challenge? Or is it just that you are unaware that you have always been in full control of your own emotional state? We choose to let people and situations take our happiness. We willingly submit and hand it over to them. Realistically, A situation just is, which means it's up for whatever you wish to attach to it. That's why so many people can have completely different views on exactly the same situation. We must look at it intelligently and let our initial knee-jerk reaction and common sense be good guides. We know the truth immediately, yet sometimes we are good at talking ourselves out of it. The control has always been there for your life. Sometimes you just choose not to use it. Differentiate between right and wrong, negative and positive, and the logical and illogical, and then use it to your benefit. In order to grow, you must take action based on your knowledge. If you refuse to, you are eventually forced to reach a point of awareness POA. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds you plant. Robert Louis Stevenson. We have all reached points in life where it felt as if there was nowhere to turn. Some of us have even hit points where our whole life, not just one aspect, is distorted. It then seems as if we are truly lost on this journey we call life. It's a feeling of hopelessness, of desperation, and of no sense of direction. If you are at this point in your life in one or all areas, I would like to explain that you are actually at a great spot. Yes, that's right. A great spot. I know you are probably swearing at the book and thinking I am a madman, but just hear this out. You are on a journey and you have been walking for days. Along the way, you have felt a sense of unfamiliarity, yet you have continued to walk anyway. You are walking along singing, and all of a sudden you stop. It hits you. You finally realized that you have been traveling a different path than you mean to this whole time. A point of awareness has just shown itself. Thoughts start rushing through your mind. Questions begin to appear and panic takes over your emotional state. Then you snap out of it and recognize that you did better pull yourself together. If you don't think about your previous steps as a means to gather knowledge to get back on track, then you will sit there paralyzed by your thoughts and die of thirst. At this point, you are actually in a good place. Because if you never had that feeling of being lost, who knows where you would have ended up. Even when you look back at those previous steps, you know cursing yourself for taking them because you know it's just making things worse. You are now allowing going to start using the information you obtained from those past steps to help yourself back on your intended path and more important to arrive at that desired destination. When one door closes, another opens, but we often look so long and so regretfully upon the closed door that we do not see the one which has opened for us. Alexander Graham Bell. I would like to illustrate using a graph to visually express this as much as I can. Here a line called point of awareness. How in between there is a point that says the only spot that allows for maximum result and great change. When you feel like you are declining in life, it may just be the complete opposite. You have actually advanced to a stage where you recognize how you must change in order to grow. Most people in society call a point of awareness rock bottom. I refrain from using that metaphor because to me it is false. I believe you have actually gone up at these points because without them you would not make the crucial decisions that change your life forever. It's as if you have prevented yourself from going deeper into your confusion and pain. Often, the most valuable information can be gathered from times that seem the most hopeless or distressing. I guess it's some greater force telling us that we need to wake up. A point of awareness forces you to reassess every step you took. And if you learn from this experience, it also reminds you to carefully assess future steps that are taken. Why is it that people usually find two directions in life at a time that seems the most confusing? My opinion is that when all roads seem to be blocked, there is only one way, and that is through. Thank you very much for listening. This is the end of chapter 2.